Hello again, everyone. This is Brian at Sonora Fly Company. This week we're going to be tying a Mahana special. This is a really easy fly to tie. It incorporates some UV fly finish, which is a nice new step to take for those of you that are learning to tie. Again, it's just a couple materials. I like really fast, easy flies to tie. It has a really thin profile. It sinks like a rock, and for whatever reason, I can't exactly explain it, but this fly seems to catch a disproportionate amount of browns versus rainbows. And, you know, for our waters, that's not something I usually expect. I've had days fishing right in front of Kennedy Meadows where I've outfished browns 2-to-1 over rainbows with this fly. And that's not something that I usually anticipate doing in that section of river. So I'm not making any guarantees, but that's just something I've noticed. So let's go ahead and get started. In the vise, we're going to use a Firehole Sticks 5/16 jig hook, size 14, and we're going to use a gold slotted tungsten bead, 3mm. For thread, I'm using some 14-aught Vivus in brown, and I'll go ahead and lay a base down. For a body material, we're going to use holographic Flashabou in red. And what I like to do is just pull this up a little ways, get my scissors in and pull out a few of these fibers. 3 is fine. I'll pull them out. That way you don't have to pull the entire batch of Flashabou out of the bag and try to get it back in. So I'll clip those tips to create a nice tie-in point. Looks great. I'll work that Flashabou back just down the bend of the hook slightly. Right there looks good. Bring that thread forward. Perfect. And I'll just counter wrap that Flashabou forward. It's a really thin body. Make sure you get the hook shank covered all the way as you work that Flashabou forward. Looks great. Tie that off. Couple wraps, and then at this point we're going to use some Loon UV clear fly finish in thin. There's 3 thicknesses of this finish. Flow is the thinnest, thin is the medium, and thick is obviously the thickest. So I'll wipe most of that off so I have just a little bit to work with. You don't want this stuff saturating the body and bulking it up. Just give that a nice easy coat. Take your UV light and cure that. Great. Now for the collar, we're going to use my favorite ice dub. This color is pheasant tail. Once again, I talk about this all the time, but it really doesn't take much ice dub or much of this material to build up a collar. It's really easy to overdub that. So we'll just put that on. Twist up a nice little dubbing noodle. Looks good. And keep that collar up tight against that head. Take a little bit of brushable Loctite. And with this 14-aught, I'll usually take a few more wraps and a couple of whip finishes. So I'll do a couple of 4-turn whip finishes here. There you have it. If there's any errant fibers, you can go ahead and trim those out. But there you have it. Super easy fly to tie. It's really effective. It's got a really slim profile, so it sinks like a rock. But I highly recommend you give it a shot. You can get all these materials at the shop at 78 South Washington Street in downtown Sonora. And hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you again on the next one. Thanks.